Today's video was sponsored by Pop Culture Zone Pressing Services. If you need your comic books pressed, I personally vouch for Pop Culture Zone as being one of the best professional companies in the game, offering hands down the lowest prices out there. Services start at only $9.99, and every order placed will receive free fast track turnaround times. Even though I press comics for my personal collection, whenever I need a professional press for my key comics, I send them off to Pop Culture Zone, and every single book that I've received back, every single one, has had results that have exceeded my expectations, and I am sure that they will exceed your expectations as well. Make sure you go check the link in the description below to head over to their website, popculturezone.com, for complete details on services and how to begin your order.
I always say, guys, when I'm on Whatnot and I'm selling comic books, like one word that I never use and that I will never use: steal. Steal. I will never use the word steal selling a comic book. Let me show you guys something. Oh man, all right. Next up for sale, we have the Uncanny X-Men #1. This is from the 2012 run. The Marvel Now. Look at that. Look at this amazing cover. Like, wow. I mean, this cover is just this cover right here. Look at that. Cyclops. This is a #1. It's a #1. I mean, that's a key book. That's a key, like, #1 key book. I mean, like, dude, if I wasn't selling this right now, I'd buy it myself. Like, okay, let's go. Let's go. All right. Bid it up, guys. Bid it up. All right. Oh, man. Okay. 10 seconds left. 5 seconds. Oh, man. Come on, guys. Don't let it go for $2. Don't let it go for $2. Oh, man. XX2457. What a steal. You got that book for $2. What a steal. Congrats. Wow. So let's rehash. This book is not a key just because it's a #1. Okay, if you like the cover, then that's on you. But if I sold this for $2, I would be extremely happy. If I sold that book for $2, I would have made out. No, it is not a steal. Every single book that you sell, no matter how big or how low, is not a steal. And I'm going to use a key book as an example. Somebody just sold an Amazing Fantasy 15 on Whatnot. Did you guys see that? Did you catch that? This Amazing Fantasy 15 sells. It's a 2.5 CGC. Nice looking 2.5. They started it out really low. I think they started it out at like $1,000. I forget. And ended up selling for $32,000. And they were like, it was count. They did it like it was like a 5-minute count auction. It was a long one. They let it count down for a while, right? And it got up to like 20,000 really fast. But then it started slowing down, and it hit 30,000, and they're like, come on, guys, let's get it to 35,000. Huh? Why don't you just let them bid? Why don't you let them bid? Are you throwing something in? Like, I'll do that. I'll be like, okay, get this book up to $5, and I'll throw in a Defenders #50. Right? That I'll bundle it up. Get up to 5 and we'll bundle it up. Something like that. That's cool. That's cool. You got a high bid and you're telling them to let's get it to 35. Why? Why didn't you start your bid at 35,000 if that's what you're expecting to get? I mean, they were cool about it though. Don't get me wrong, but still, it's like that's the type of salesman jargon that I personally just don't like. And I'm not saying they're wrong for doing it. I just wouldn't do it. But it gets to 32,000. And they win it at 32,000. And they're really cool. They were like, oh, man, congrats. Like, right on. What a deal. What a deal. I don't know if they said the word steal.
And as everybody's saying, that is a massive steal.
And I looked up the numbers. No, you didn't. No, they didn't. We're going to pull up the numbers right now, folks. We're going to pull up the numbers right now. The last sale for An Amazing Fantasy 15 was about $35,000 in a 2.5. Let me make sure I'm being put in the proper context there. Let me see what it was. Okay, it was $34,000. $34,080, all right? That was in May. So that was over a month before this book sold on Whatnot. The other copy in a 2.5 that sold before that sold for $55,000 in February. Okay? But get this, guys. Get this. The book's fair market value, even during the COVID peak, was still roughly below $30,000. That $55,000 sale was an outlier. So much so that a 3.0 has never sold for $50,000. Never. And the recent highs for 3.0s hovered around 37,000. You got a 44,000. And then a 3.5 never sold for $50,000. Most recent sales, 3 of them for $40,000 and change. $40,000 and change. You see what I'm saying here, guys? That $55,000 sale was an outlier, and somebody paid way too much. And all it takes is for 2 people in a heritage auction or wherever they were with big old money in their pockets. And quite honestly, because these books are so rare, right? You only see 1 or 2 pop up, even in low grade a month at a time. These people weren't concerned with paying a fair market value. They were concerned with their FOMO. They wanted it right there, right now. And I bet it was 2 people dueling it out. I don't care if we put this to the moon. I want it and you're not having it. And it sold for $55,000, which was an outlier. That's why we do not look at outliers for fair market value. That's why we have to look at rolling averages, at least over the last 3 months or more, especially for a book that's scarce on the market. So if you take away the outlier of $55,000, this book sold well above the average fair market value of the last year. A fair market value is something that is very subjective, and in a case you can define it as it's something that's willing to pay for it. But fair market value should be determined by precedent and rough rolling averages, because then it allows you to realize what would be fair for you for a future sale or a current sale. The bottom line that I'm trying to point out here, guys, is that nobody got a huge deal. Look, one might go up, and the next one that goes up might sell for $40,000, and then that person that bought it off of Whatnot, hey, it may feel like a deal to them, but they paid above the current fair market value for that book. So, look, I understand how collectors might get turned off by the modern market, because everyone is in it to sell, and they're going to sell you on whatever way they could sell you. What a steal. Bid this up. Like, hard to, like, newsstand. But it's a 1976 book, and there wasn't even a direct market at the time. Newsstand. Right? I understand what you're saying, but would you as a seller turn down $10? No, I wouldn't turn down $10 for this. I would not. If I put this up for auction at a $1 starting bid, and somebody bought it for $10, then am I going to turn that down? No. You know what I would do? You know what I might do? Because I've done this a lot. If you guys watch my Whatnot sales, I do this all the time. I have random books. I have random books and art prints that I throw in to winning bids. So if somebody paid $10 for this, I'm going to say, oh, thank you so-and-so. You know what? I'm going to throw this Defenders book in there for you. Right on. Thank you so much. All right, next book. Here's the thing, though, Keith. While I will not turn down $10 for that book, I sure as hell aren't going to use car sales menu hoping to get $10 for that book. There's a difference. Does that make sense? Let me repeat that. If I start this book at a $1 bid and somebody bids it up to $10, thank you. But I will not used car sales you in order to get that $10. And that is a fact, and I'll never change. And you can hate me, people can not like my channel, but that's how I am, and I will never change.